We'd like to welcome you all to the new era of Red Bull Ford. We're going to do some great things this year with this partnership and new driver lineup. We can't wait to hit the track in Australia and back up our driver's title and attempt to win back the constructors from Mercedes. We'll see you on the track soon enough.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of F1 23 Driver Career Mode off-season, headed into Season 4. Red Bull Ford, our brand new team, our brand new home, is finally underway here, and you can see immediately where we stack up with the regulation changes to the powertrain as well as the chassis departments over the off-season. It is just my luck that I left Aston Martin just for Aston Martin to be as good as the team I go to with Red Bull. Look at McLaren and Mercedes. Massive gains over the off-season. They have basically put themselves out in front of everybody as the clear favorites to at least start the season out. Williams has made some gains. Ferrari has dropped way down the order as Alpine, BMW, Haas, and Connorsport all towards the bottom of the grid. Everybody's made gains, but you can still see some of the teams that were down the order last season are still down the order, just a lot closer, and I think that's going to make an interesting start to the season. Now, fortunately for Red Bull, we have a lot of resource points saved up, over 11,000, so we were able to make huge upgrades to kick off the season, and that would put us right here. You can see the green bar of how far behind Mercedes and McLaren we are. So, you know, we're not going to be necessarily winning races right off the bat here, I don't think, in Season 4, but we're definitely going to be winning races before the season is over, and we have 23 races this season to, of course, navigate our way through. Another thing is Red Bull. We know that Red Bull has really good development, you know, in terms of pace and what they're able to do with their capabilities. So we're on a good team. It's going to go well, I think, this season. Now, as we look at the driver changes as well as some new liveries, of course, Red Bull moves to Ford. Red Bull Ford is going to be myself alongside the defending now 4-time world champion of Max Verstappen, as he was able to get the best of George Russell in the season finale in Brazil. Some driver changes on some teams stay the same, such as Ferrari remains with Charles Leclerc as well as Carlos Sainz. Leclerc, however, has made it known going into the start of the season that he will be leaving Ferrari if they cannot find a way to win races this season. I don't think it's going to happen. If you just saw the R&D situation that they find themselves in way down the order, there's going to be some struggles there. And then we have Mercedes. Look at this slick new livery Mercedes has shown up with. Now, Lewis Hamilton, of course, retired an 8-time world champion last season, and that allowed Lando Norris to move from McLaren into his position to go alongside a good friend of George Russell this season. Russell looking to get that first championship after throwing it away in Brazil against Verstappen. Alpine, brand new livery there on their cars. No roster change there. It remains Gasly as well as Ocon this season. Alpine, however, has been warned if they can't figure it out this season, it sounds like a Lotus takeover is imminent for season number 5 next season. As we look at now the McLaren, and you can see the beautiful livery they have this season. Changes here. Alex Albon remains, but the rookie from last season at Connorsport, Aiden Jackson, has gotten the call to, of course, race for McLaren this season, and he's now on the best car on the grid based off the R&D. McLaren have made huge gains. BMW looking for a decent sophomore season. Valtteri Bottas no longer a part of the Formula 1 grid. It is still Ayumu Iwasa in BMW, but another new rookie this season. Felipe Drugovich has joined the roster for BMW now as we roll into Aston Martin, sticking with the same livery as well this season. And Yuki Tsunoda remains with the team. However, they have brought Oscar Piastri from Williams to join the Aston Martin team for this season, and I think Piastri is going to do some good things over there with Aston Martin getting a second chance. The Alfa Romeo Haas remains unchanged this season. They have stuck with their former lineup of Théo Pourchaire and Liam Lawson as they look for big changes and gains this season, as well as this is the 3rd season already of this Alfa Romeo Haas project. Can they finally start to make some headway, or are they running out of time? As we look at now Connorsport, this is an interesting one. Devin Butler remains, but of course Aiden Jackson leaving opens the door for the first female Formula 1 driver in a long time. Is Callie Mayer, Formula 2 prospect, joining the grid as a rookie to go up against Felipe Drugovich for Rookie of the Year. Williams Martini sees, unfortunately, Logan Sargent departing the grid, and they will have both new drivers, and get this one, Jake Hughes But my favorite driver returns. Zhou Guanyu is back on the Formula 1 grid this season for Williams. Now, you guys wanted Zhou back. I did too, is obviously biased as he is my favorite driver. We take a look now at the new calendar for this season. So I have been using a custom calendar mod. Sprints have been announced, gone. Sprints are gone for this season. We will not see them anymore, but we start the season again in Australia. But then we switch things up. We head to Azerbaijan, then we go to Spain. China returns to the calendar, and then we have the Netherlands, the Zandvoort track pretty early on in the season. Then we go to Imola, Monaco. Now Monaco stays in the same place because I've heard if you moved it might cause issues, so I kept it the same. Then we go to Miami, Canada, a bit of a North American swing in my home race there in Montreal. Then we go to Hungary as well as Silverstone, then Austria, Belgium. Then we have Paul Ricard back on the calendar for the first time ever in the F1 23 career mode, so we will have the French Grand Prix, followed by Monza, Singapore. Then we have Japan, Qatar, and then as well Circuit of the Americas, Bahrain late in the season. And then we have Abu Dhabi, Jeddah, Brazil to end the season as we would roll through into pre-season testing taking place in Catalonia. And as well, we would get a nice warm welcome from our new team principal, Christian Horner.
Welcome to the team, Gary. It's been a long time coming, and we are so happy to finally bring you on board this year. Just make some consistent laps today, no pressure.
Sounds good. Finally able to get this partnership working. Let's have a fun year, guys. On track now, and you hear the sound of the new V8 engines that are on the grid this season as well. A very exciting time for Formula 1 with the engine regulation changes setting, basically the last half of this career mode kind of in store for us. But yeah, getting on track, felt pretty good with the car right off the bat. Definitely the quickest car I think we've had so far in our F1 career mode, even though the Aston Martin was so good a few seasons ago. The cars continue to get quicker, and really like what I felt here so far in this Red Bull Ford as we came out of the round the last turn. Feeling overall pretty good as I give my opinions to Mark. This car is great. We're going to have a good year.
I like what I see out there, mate.
Feeling really good. Now, some other teams are on track getting some practice in, and Ferrari struggling early on. Actually, you can see going for a spin there was Charles Leclerc. They got Santander actually on the car this season. They can't seem to make up if they want to stick with them or not, I swear. Mercedes with their brand new livery on track. Actually, this is a 2022 car model on track, and look at the ride height of this Mercedes with that Russell as well as Norris lineup, and there's a better look at it right there. And it's kind of similar to Connor Sport's design from last season, really raising that front end of the car off the ground. Alpine getting some practice in with Gasly and Ocon. The biggest complaint about the Alpine that we heard was understeer. The car was understeering quite significantly, so we'll have to wait and see how they're able to maybe come up with ways to combat that going into the season. McLaren, however, Aiden Jackson, Alex Albon, this was the quickest car by far all weekend long here in preseason testing. I think this is going to be one heck of a team to watch, and what can Aiden Jackson do? He has, been given an opportunity to go to McLaren, which had a decent season. They only had one win last season, but it's pretty clear they're going to be a threat to win the championship this season. Aiden Jackson is going to be put into the spotlight, to say the least. Late in the day, however, getting a bit more practice on the track, and you can see it was absolutely chunking it down. Rain, unbelievably bad conditions, but I like to drive in the rain, so I wanted to get my opportunity to get out on the track to really ramp up this preseason testing. Ignore the fact that it's a Perez helmet and a Perez name. I swear it's me. But overall, really happy with how we're setting up for Season 4. I do have a few more changes coming into Season 4, graphical changes that you will probably notice, but I'm not going to spoil them right now because I'm not 100% sure if they will be in effect right off the bat, but I'm hopeful that they will be for Australia, which will be another day or two away at least. But yeah, that's our kind of off-season wrap-up for Season 3 into Season 4. It's going to be an exciting season. Can we bring the heat to Verstappen? I hope so. Hopefully we can win our first world title in Formula 1 in Season 4, and just most importantly, get back to the top step of the podium because we were winless last season. That wraps it up. Let me know what you're most excited for Season 4. I'll see you guys next time for the season opener in Melbourne. Have a great day, everybody.